So hello, oh my God, I'm going to have to start again. No, wait. Right, hello, Vietnam team, our first heading to Vietnam, which is truly exciting. Right, so the purpose of today is to get you organized, as I said, and so you can visualize, get your expectations with the trip aligned for what you are going to walk into. Okay, so we are going to cover in the course of this meeting your itinerary, flights, airport pickup, money, phone, SIM cards, kit, health, behavior, and safety. Okie dokes. So starting off with your itinerary. Well, all I can say is that you are heading into, I think, a bit too luxurious for my liking. Peter, who is our partner from See Asia Differently, he has basically treated you. So this is his first trip with us. I think he's gone overboard. So you are going to be staying in luxurious places. So, well, they look luxurious. They're not like the homestays I've just stayed in Peru. Anyway, so starting with your itinerary, I'm just getting the right document up here. Okay. So you're going to arrive in Hanoi, and you're all going to be picked up at the airport. You're all on the same flight, I think. Right now you all are. We're waiting for 2 more flights to be confirmed. You're all going to be picked up. So when you come out, just look for the LEAP sign. Okay, and then you'll be taken to your first hostel stroke homestay, where you can unpack and chill, and then get rested after that long journey before going out to explore. So you've got 2 full days in Hanoi, tinkering about. One of those days is going to be on a cycling tour, the others just a walking tour, seeing all the major sites, but you will love it. Okay, so that is just bedding in, trying to get rid of your jet lag and finding your feet. Once you've done that, you're going to head north to Mai Chau. I know the pronunciation is wrong, for your first community phase. Okay, so this is about 5 hours west of Hanoi, near the border of Laos. Okay, so this is where you're going to be staying with a local family. And, amongst the paddy fields, rural village with amongst the tea plantations, hill tribes, waterfalls, it's all there to be explored by foot and by bikes. Okay, and while you're here, this is where you're going to be doing the community project. What you'll actually be doing will be set up literally a few days before you go, based on what they need to be done, whether that's painting, mending, teaching, but always an element of teaching, and always an element of teaching personal hygiene to the kids. Simple things such as cleaning your teeth, the importance of things like that. Playing sport, cultural interaction. That's what you've got here in this phase. Okay, the next phase is going on your boat cruise. I hate that word cruise because that makes me feel that you're going on some enormous ocean liner across the Atlantic. You're not. It's more of a kind of junk boat, which are very typical in the Far East, and that you're all on board and you're going to go out and explore this amazing bay, which you've probably all seen on the James Bond films. Okay, so that is your boat phase. Then you're going down to the national park. Now, you might have noticed that it was going to be at the Primate Sanctuary, but we've changed it to the Save Vietnam's Wildlife Sanctuary. Exactly the same place, they're next door, but this is now, they are happy to take people for a week, whereas the other one have just literally stipulated that you have to work there for 3 months and be fully qualified anthropologist or scientist. So that was rather annoying. Anyway, Save Vietnam's Wildlife is Peter's visited, is absolutely fantastic, and it will do just the job, but it is full on. So expect to be up very early to feed these animals, muck them out, learn about them, and you are really part of the team which keeps the show on the road. We have a similar project in Costa Rica. Everyone's always kind of rather like, oh my God, we really are doing the hard labor. Yes, you will be doing the hard labor. So this is going to be your I would say it'd be physically challenging because you're going to be working, it's going to be hot, it's going to be, just early hours in the morning, getting up and feeding the animals. But you'll get into it and you will love it. But while you're there, you're also going to be nipping out to explore the big lakes, the kind of mountains of the area of the national park, which is apparently stunning. Your next phase is going to Hoi An, which is further south. Now, this is your kind of exploratory phase, and also a bit of downtime, because right up to now, apart from the boat, you've been on the move. You've been working, exploring, cycling. So this is a time where you're going to have a few days of, forced exploring with the guide, and then you're going to have a few days at the end where you can actually chill, choose what you want to do, lie on a beach if that's what you want to do, haggle in a market all afternoon. But one of the main things you will all want to do is get clothes made. This is the area where you can get suits, dresses, all sorts of weird and wonderful things, handmade shoes. This is the area. Now, you'll notice on day 28, you're going to be transferred back to Hanoi. You're going to have an extra night in Hanoi on 28 because your flight is the following day. So that is all being taken care of. So your last night will be back in Hanoi. Then you'll get up in the morning and fiddle about, do all your packing, ready for your afternoon flight out. Well, it's kind of early evening, but you need to be there in the afternoon. Okie dokes. So that is the run of your itinerary. It's full on, it's busy, and you're going to be with one of the See Asia Differently guides throughout your whole journey. Now, he is Vietnamese, but he speaks brilliant English, and he is so used to doing teenage gapper travel because that's what he's always done. So he will make sure that you are all organized. If you're ill, need to go to the doctor or hospital, he will take you. Okay, so it's all under control. Money. Okay, when you to get out there, you will get the local currency out from the local ATMs. So please take a Monzo Revolut Starling card, which are free to take your money out, but please also take a debit card, okay? Because you need 2 cards minimum for traveling, just in case you lose one. Some places don't take a Monzo, some places do. You just never know. But you need the physical cards, okay, to get the local currency out of the ATM. Some places, yep, you'll be able to pay by card off your phone, but more likely it is always best to have the local currency at hand, especially for the markets, going into bars, paying for tuk-tuks, etc., etc. Okay, so get that organized. What will you need extra money for? I was talking to Peter about this. Everything really is pretty much included, apart from on the last few days when you're in Hoi An at the end, where you can choose to do and eat wherever you want for lunch and supper. So we thought a kind of budget price of about £100 a week would cover everything, but that really is excessive, because the only things you're going to be paying for are maybe a few drinks, a few snacks, a few souvenirs. But I do know how easy these things, can rack up. But there are no big ticket items that you need to budget for. Okay. Phones. Please take 2 telephones. I know you're thinking, really? You're just saying, yes, take 2 telephones. The main phone is your kind of everyday phone, which has everything on. But if that should get nicked, lost, dropped in the water, smashed out of a tuk-tuk, you'll be scuppered, because they're expensive to buy out there. So please just take an old phone that you might have in the top drawer in the kitchen, just as backup. Okay, it's very, very easy to get a SIM card when you're out there to communicate locally, but also in all the hostels, you will, well, in Hanoi, at the beginning, in the wildlife center, and at the end, the final hostel, you will have Wi-Fi. It's basic Wi-Fi. It's not super fast Wi-Fi that you can download movies, but it will be great for WhatsApp, social media. Okay, when you're on the boat, you won't have Wi-Fi. When you're at the community week 1, you won't have Wi-Fi there. Okay, but a SIM card, super easy. On day 1 in Hanoi, you'll be taken to get that. Okay, kit list. Okay, follow everything on the kit list. Okay, you don't need anything weird or wonderful. You don't need mosquito nets. You don't need any freezing cold clothes. But I would take thin, long trousers for when you're working in the wildlife sanctuary. Okay, long, thin, those very, very thin, long trousers. If you haven't got any, don't worry, you can buy them in Hanoi, but those are the best things to wear. So your legs are covered up. And also long sleeved shirts. I know everybody will want to wear those singlets, but when you're out and about on the bicycles, you know, just this is just me being, you know, super cautious. Have those thin, long sleeved shirts that you can fling on to protect you from getting sunburnt. Always very useful. That's what I would be wearing personally throughout the entire trip. Somebody just asked us this morning about washing clothes. Really easily done. I would be washing your kind of underwear in the showers as you go along, and then your shirts and trousers, tops. At each of the hostels, you'll be able to ask one of the local ladies to do a wash for you, and budget anything about $5 for a smallish load. But you can wash as you go. So don't take too much. But one of the things, if you're thinking of going traveling on afterwards, is to take a thin puffer, because you know you never know where you're going to go, and those things, those more technical accessories are really expensive and hard to find out there, and that's always, no one hates being cold, so just pop one and they can squish down into virtually nothing. Next on the list is your health. Now, some of you have been absolutely brilliant and told us exactly what you're allergic to, what's been going on in your life, and that's absolutely fantastic. For those that haven't or haven't yet, tell us everything. Honestly, we need to know. The more we know, the better we can look after you when you're overseas. And literally, you can't shock us. So email away or just give us a phone call and tell us, you know, if there is anything to disclose. The last thing is on the kind of behavior and safety aspect. This is when I become rather motherly and probably sound like a school teacher. But the vibe, you know, with the Leap is we want you to kind of work hard, play hard, have a really good time. But what we really don't want, especially in Vietnam, is everyone getting loud and leery and getting absolutely howling drunk every night, because culturally, that is just not what our guides are used to, want to put up with. So yes, have a couple of beers in the evening, but that's it. If you want to go wild and crazy, you can do that after the trip on your own, on your own time. This is just, you know, looking after each other, being respectful to the leaders and to the culture and to the kind of the rules. Listen to your guide. If he says, really don't go to that part of town, don't go to that part of town, you know, because they really do know. You know, their aim is to keep you safe and guide you, but you have to listen to the guidance. For those that don't, if people, you know, in the past, we've had people that don't want to listen and can be quite disruptive and ruin the vibe for the trip. If this happens, you'll be getting a warning, a written warning, and then asked to leave. So that's just, you know, how it is. But I trust with you, this won't happen at all. And, you know, I'm just saying it for the sake of. Okay, so that is everything I wanted to rattle through. If at the end, you know, you don't have to do this, but if you might, as a group, want to tip your guide, that would be something really, really nice to do. Now, a kind of recommendation is $25, 20 quid a head, but you don't have to do that, but you might want to just take, don't forget to consider that as a group, because they really appreciate it, but they do not expect it. Okay. So I'm just whizzing through all of that. I think, well, I know that is all I want to say. Archie and Sasha, is there anything you want to ask or add?
Not right now, no.
Okay. So has that cleared up quite a few of your kind of pre-departure questions?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. So what we really need to do, Peter is on the case. He wants to check everyone's visas because he has a great attention to detail. He wants to check you've all got the right one. So please send it to us. And also please send us that wildlife volunteering form like today, tomorrow. It really is important. We just want this admin all squared away. So those that haven't done it, I'm expecting a trickle of admin to come into my email box later today. Okie dokes. So you're in for a treat. We're going to be following you on Instagram, and good luck, team. Have a wonderful, wonderful time.